over all the games happened on Saturday. We got 8 games. Let's get into it. The first game is the quote unquote tanking Raptors versus the New York Knicks. The Raptors, remember, they got 5 games next week, and they got a lot of injuries going on. Well, not a lot. Chris Boucher is going to be out the entirety of the next week. Um, Cam Birch is a hot pickup. They got 5 games. He's a guy that could give you good rebound, good efficiency, and some defensive stats. Again, he did it again here. Had 1 steal and 2 blocks. He's been very consistent ever since he got to the Raptors. He's getting a lot of defensive stats. That's one thing I noticed. And the minutes is good. Next week, he should be getting even more minutes and usage because guys like OG, Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Fran VanVleet, I expect all of them to lose some minutes, to be honest. Not lose some minutes, but miss a few games because they got 5, especially Kyle Lowry. He's going to miss quite a few games. This game, OG played great. I think for the rest of the season, other than the defensive stats, you can expect a usage boost from OG because the main guy is going to be in and out of the lineup. Siakam, whenever he plays, he's going to put up good counting stats. We know that. Kyle Lowry, not so much. They got 5 games, so you're going to get 3 games out of him. So I think you can keep holding him. Other than field goal, he hurts you. He give you pretty much everything else. He's a good rebounder as well. And as a guard, he gets a little bit blocks. Had 9 assists. That's really good. Obviously, 1 for 10 from the field is not ideal. Fran VanVleet not continue. He played one of his best games since coming back from an injury. Although he only played like 2, played 40 minutes, and they lost. I guess this is a must win for them. Not a must win, but pretty much all the games, it's a must win to get that 10th spot. The Wizards are playing really well at the moment, and they got 5 games. Let's see how many games the older guy is gonna sit out. Gary Trent Jr. I don't know why he wasn't playing 30 plus minutes, but now with everybody back, with Chris Boucher out, he's coming off the bench playing 18 minutes. I don't really know what's going on there. But in like 25 minutes, he's not a must roster. Next week, he could get some opportunities if you need some points and threes, especially guys out. Right, he could really go off, score 30 points. The New York Knicks, they keep their winning streak going. This is how many games now? Knicks looking scary. Yeah, they won 9 straight on the backs of Julius Randle mainly. 31 points again. The counties that looked really good and played 40 minutes again. And RJ, there was a period of time he was playing high minutes and then he was playing like 25 to 30 minutes. And now coach, just said, fuck it, gonna give this guy 38 minutes. And he put a really good counting stats in this game, plus 23, good efficiency everywhere. If you need points, rebound, a little bit threes, RJ is the guy. In category leagues, in points leagues, I think no problem there. But in category leagues, he's still hurting you in a lot of areas, especially the efficiency and turnovers. Not a must roster guy, but depend on what you need that week. He's healthy pretty much all season, playing high minutes, giving you consistent points. That's one thing he's very consistent at, and some rebound as well, and a little bit assist. And Derrick Rose as well. Although they're still playing 4 guards, but Elfrid Payton, the minutes is just very, very low at the moment. I think Thibodeau just wants to play the best guys, trying to get the fight for that 4th spot because it's pretty tight. You don't want to be the 6th spot, 6, because you have to play Bucks at this moment. Either Bucks, Sixers, the Nets, because the top 3 is pretty much locked, and it looks like a great chance Bucks gonna lock in. So if you want a 4th or 5th seed, you play Atlanta Hawks or Celtics. Who knows? It's just a different beast if you fall down to the 6th seed, and they're like 1.5 games ahead. So it's gonna be if you got the 4th or 5th seed, it won't be a battle. Otherwise, having to play Sixers, Nets, and Bucks, it's gonna be a early exit. Derrick Rose, another great game. I think he's worth picking up for sure. Checking out Knicks next games, but they got a back-to-back. D Rose is gonna sit out. So if he sits out, drop him, stream somebody else. But if he's playing healthy and playing, his minutes has been up the past 2 3 games. You know, really really good. We know D Rose has been very very efficient over the past few years. You know, the narrative that, when he was the Bulls, he was pretty much the first not like the only guy offensively has to create everything, so his efficiency is rough. The past 2 3 years, man, he comes off the bench just super super efficient from the field, and we know he's a good free throw guy. And this year, also he gets assists, but this year he's been getting a lot of steals as well. This game 2 steals, so good pickup. Emmanuel Quickly and Elfrid Payton, those guys are getting below 20 minutes now pretty consistently. Let's go to the next game. Joel Embiid sit out this game, so Sixers lost this game. Not too much to talk about. They got destroyed, and Ben Simmons still out. I don't know what's up. What's wrong with Ben Simmons? He should be back soon, but yeah, I think because the nature of the, it's not too big of a injuries, so he didn't get an out tag. This is like the worst. If we know he's gonna be out for a week, probably you could have dropped him. Like last week, he's been out for a long time. Yeah, he's still sick. I don't know. He's been out since he's out for 2 weeks. So he gets an out tag, so you could put him in the IR. But yeah, if we knew he's gonna be out for this long, in the playoffs, probably dropped him 2 weeks ago. Danny Green, 21 minutes. Like I said, this game is a blowout, so everybody's minutes is really, really low. Not too much implications. I think Danny Green's still a hold. If you got him already, Seth Curry is a 3-point streamer. And whenever Joel Embiid is out, you could definitely stream Dwight Howard. He's the most consistent. I mean, a lot of games, Mike Scott is going to start and play like 15 minutes. Dwight Howard is going to get the majority of the minutes. And whenever Joel Embiid is out, and now Ben Simmons is out, guys like Shake Milton, but Tyrese Maxey, you could stream the hoping for them to go off. None of them did because it was a blowout. Minutes is pretty low. And most importantly, whenever Ben Simmons is out, you got to stream Matisse Thybulle for some defensive stats. Right? Blowout, only 23 minutes, but doesn't really matter. 23 minutes, he got you 3 steals. Right? The best steals and blocks guy in the entire NBA per minute wise. And then for the Bucks, it sucks when your team is that good, blowing people out. Chris Middleton only got 20 minutes, didn't do anything this game. Giannis, 24 points. Giannis filled it up in just 24 minutes. This is what Giannis can do, especially versus some bad teams, bad defensive teams. He can just rack up stats in 20 minutes. 24 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 center block. 5 for 10 from the free throw line is not good, but you're pounding free throws most likely. Brook Lopez, 2 blocks. He's another guy that you could for sure drop if you don't need blocks. They don't have a game today. If you need assists, steals, that type of stats, he's a guy that, look at your roster. You could sacrifice him on the last day of your matchup to get somebody else, right? Although, like, you should probably done it, a couple of days ago when you realize you either win blocks or lose blocks and get some other categories. That's what you probably should have done. It's already Sunday. One day it's tough. Depending on what the score looks like. He's a guy for sure you could sacrifice. Dante DiMartino has been playing really well lately. The steal numbers has not been the same all season, but he's a good rebound guy. He gets some assists. Pretty efficient overall. Hits some threes, so I think he's worth rostering. But I think even for a young guy like him, he was getting rested on the back-to-backs. He's like second year or third year. I don't exactly remember. But man, resting such a young guy is interesting. Jrue Holiday had 4 steals in 27 minutes. What else can you say about this guy? Getting that huge contract should motivate him maybe playing better. In fantasy, he's been a beast in the last month. Let's go to the next game. The Pacers, they got a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday, so if you stream some of the Pacer guys, it's probably a good idea. For Detroit, I believe they also had they have a 5-game week coming up again next week. Let me just check the schedule real quick. Where's Detroit Pistons? Oh, sorry, they got 3 games. They got 3 games next week. So all of those guys, they're not that attractive to us. Yeah, they have a 5 game week, in 2 weeks, the week of May 3rd. So that might be someone's finals matchup, and stream a guy like Sadiq Bey could be the difference. They only got 3 games next week, but just to plan ahead, a week ahead. Just remember, a lot of guys you could stream. Obviously, Jeremy Grant is rostered everywhere. He had an okay game here, 25 points, but the efficiency is completely gone. Uh, a lot of guys you could stream. Mason Plumlee, oh my god, 21 rebound, 5 assists, 2 blocks, completely went off. Well, we know whenever they have 5 games, he's definitely not going to play all of them. So it's a good idea to pick up Isaiah Stewart, even though out of those 5 games, maybe two games he only played 20 minutes, but maybe 2-3 games he played 35 and just completely goes off, have 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals, right? Which he has done earlier this week. He's a guy like Sadiq Bey for sure. If they got that 5 week, we know he's going to get the most minutes on the team, very consistent. This game he obviously struggled, but he grabbed us 10 rebounds. He's been giving us a lot of threes, very consistent threes, and very consistent steals numbers. Those 2 categories, he's very good. So the next week it's time to look at him for sure. Streaming him. Mason Plumlee, great. They got 3 games. I will still hold on to him. See what the minutes looks like. Whenever he plays, he's still. I still don't know why they're giving him 29 minutes versus Isaiah Stewart 19 minutes. But he's going to be in and out of the lineup. Josh Jackson, efficiency is rough. He's another guy. 5 games, you could stream him. Although the minutes is very up and down. Corey Joseph, I'm not sure why this guy getting the huge minutes, but he still is getting the 30 minutes. 12 points. He's a good assistant steal streamer. This is a guy, him and Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes also rests on back-to-backs. So that means if the 5 weeks game comes next week, next week, you want to stream Corey Joseph. Let's look at, sorry. Oh, my bad. Just getting a little sick. Okay. Let me put the cameras on again. Okay. Let's look at the Pacers side. I took a look at the Pacers schedule. Their schedule is not good in the next 2 weeks. Where's Indiana Pacers? Oh, they got 3 games next week and then 4 games the week after. So next week, think about if you have to plan ahead. Some of the guys, I think only, Malcolm Brogdon, obviously. Sabonis, if you got an IR, he should be back soon. But Karis LeVert also was still rostering. But everybody else, and also TJ McConnell. But depend on what you need, right? If you don't need steals and assists, TJ McConnell is useless to you. Pretty much useless. He give you some good field goal. But you're way better off just stream a bigger guy, a center, for those stats. But he give you such a good volume of assists and steals, especially steals. Like, I don't think that many teams punt steals. I think I talked about this before. In category leagues, how many teams is really punting steals? Because everybody gets steals. Although guards tend to get more steals, but a lot of big guys, they also get a decent amount of steals. So it's just hard to punt steals. Either way, this game, I think it's just a lot of usage opening up. The Miles Turner is out of the way. This game, O'Shea Brissett had a huge game the other night. He's a must stream for sure until Sabonis comes back, whenever that's gonna be. What's up with Sabonis? He should be back soon. Yeah, he's questionable, but I will. If you need somebody to stream tonight, Sabonis most likely out. He could give you a huge boost in rebound. This is what he can do. Jakar Sampson also played 21 minutes. He started at the center. The minutes are not high. I would much prefer Brissett. Stream this guy. Edmund Summer had a great game, 22 points, but we know he is not the best. fantasy producers. And interestingly, Justin Holiday, coming off the bench, only played 20 minutes, but he put up 1 3, 2 steals, 2 blocks. That's pretty good. But if he's only gonna get 20 minutes, maybe he's not the most attractive option. TJ McConnell went off again. 1 for 6 from the field is very TJ McConnell like, but 6 points is okay. 5 steals and a block. We know he can get plenty of assists. I'm not surprised, but the blocks, he still also gets some blocks. I mean, it's not like he doesn't block it with his athleticism. He blocks with anticipation. When a guy goes up, he strips it. Also had 13 assists, just being a beast. Malcolm Brogdon had no steals again, but everything else looks great. And Caris LeVert, man, 7 for 13 from the free throw line. This is the worry with him. Is sometimes, some nights he just loses you the free throw. If you're in a playoff, and I'm sure if the free throw is tight, you got him. After this game, probably you're gonna lose free throw and lose the matchup. This has always been the worry with him. Is he could get to the free throw line a lot and just shit on your free throw a lot. But everything else, the counting side look great again. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals and block. Let's look at the next game. The San Antonio Spurs basically ended the Pelicans' playoff chances after this. Spurs is one of the teams that has a great schedule. Next week they got 4 games, just because they missed a few games, and then the week after they got 8 games in the next 2 weeks, 4 each. So you got a Jacob Poeltl, no worries, just putting him in there, unless you're trying to win free throws. He's another big guy. Give you those 3 categories: the field goal, the rebound, the blocks. But he also gets a little bit of steals, I think, compared to other big guys. But the free throw is rough with him. This game, great. The minutes is high. Only 7 rebounds, in 37 minutes, but that's okay. 3 assists, good. A steal, 5 blocks. Poeltl has been, if you are punting free throws and threes, he's been great. Wow, in the last month, 38th ranked player, mainly because the 65% field goal, 9 rebound, and 2.3 blocks. The 2.3 blocks. Now that Miles Turner is out, Robert Williams is out, who's the next best blocks guy? The young guy's coming out. JJJ coming back. Maybe he could block 2 shots, right? So really, really good. DeMar DeRozan, 32 points, 8 assists. What else can you say about DeMar? And 12 for 12 from the free throw line is really undervalued in category leagues. You just look at the 32 points, it looks really good. But 12 for 12 is better than 32 points. More like 40 points to a free throw percentage. That's how much it helps. DeRozan has been great. Can't complain. Can't say enough about him this season. Dejounte Murray, 7 rebound. Also, again, bad efficiency, but 7 rebound, 5 assists, 3 steals is good. And Derek White continued. This is why we love White. When you look at the box score, there's no zeros across the board. Although you want the turnover to be 0. But the Cutting said there's no 0. He can do everything. Guys like big guys like Kelly Olynyk, that's why the rankings are good, because they can block shots, they can get steals, get assists, they can do everything. And when a point guard can get you blocks, and it's not like just 0.5 blocks, it's 1 block a game. That's why his ranking is so good. His ranking in the last month should definitely went up. 58th ranked player in the last month. And he's a guy that doesn't really have a weakness, so you can't really justify dropping him, even in the playoffs, right? Because he gives you a little bit of everything. It's still only averaging, 0.8 steals and 3.9 assists. Hopefully the assists and the steals can go up a little bit. And the shooting, obviously, 43% now. But this is why we love Derek White in category leagues. Points leagues, it could be different. For the Pelicans, they lost. Yeah, they're basically out of it. Let me check the rankings real quick. The standings, I mean. How many games are they out of the... Yeah, I mean, the Spurs are going to be the 10th. Oh, well. The Spurs are 9th after this win. Yeah, Warriors are 4 games ahead of the Pelicans. It's over. Pelicans, I mean, they were somewhat competitive last season. They just didn't, record-wise, I think from a player perspective, Brandon Ingram didn't improve that much, but Zion did. But the team didn't translate to wins. So that's something they got to work on next year. You can put up the big stats, but until you can start winning some games, they can't put you one of like Trey Young and Luca. They're doing it. Obviously, different franchises, different coaches, a lot of things going on, but that's what the narrative is gonna be. They don't really care all the other things. Those two guys are, they're leading their team to playoff spot. Brandon Ingram, great game, 24, 6, 6, but still no defensive stats. That's gonna be a problem for him years to come. Everything else is great. Zion Williamson, like I said, the stats look really, really good. 33 points again, 14 rebound. The efficiency from the free throw line is rough, but yeah. Steven Adams sprained his ankle the other night. He came back, played. If you need some rebound, sure, he could give you that. 10 rebound in 32 minutes is good. Just know he's gonna destroy a free throw. 10 rebound, 3 assists is pretty good. Eric Bledsoe is not a master roster guy. I think I would rather very, very much prefer Najee Marshall. And he only played 23 minutes, and I don't know why they just gotta tease us like this. In 22 minutes, he was getting 0 steals, and now in just short time, he got 3 steals. But yeah, we don't even want to stream him, I think, at this point, because he doesn't really give you that one category that we need. So there is no use case. Like, if he's averaging 1.5 steals, so sure, okay, we're going to stream him for steals. But he doesn't. He give you 10 points, and he doesn't give you assists. He doesn't give you threes in high volume, so there's no point. Lonzo Ball, and the minutes is low for him. Lonzo Ball, great. 2 steals, 4 assists, 6 threes, 24 points. How is Lonzo in the last month? We know he's in and out the lineup. Wow, he's been really good. 37th ranked player. Shot 40%, sub 40%, but the 6 assists and 1.8 steals. Yeah, the 1.8 steals is why his ranking is so high. If he goes back to 1.1, that's like top 70, 80. Najee Marshall play high minutes. I think I would be more interested in streaming him over Eric Bledsoe. Although this game he had 6 rebounds, 6 points, didn't really do much, and a steal. 1 for 4 from the free throw line is also pretty bad. Let's look at the next game, the Miami Heat. Well, we know the Heat, they are in the playoffs, but they're trying to get to the 5th spot because otherwise you got to play the Sixers. So they're like 1.5 games behind the Atlanta Hawks. Ideally, you want to be the 4th or 5th seed, play a not so strong team, and then play one of the top 3 teams. Because Celtics, they got the name brand, but they have not been good this season. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, again, played a great. We'll talk about him later. For the Bulls, I think Kobe White is a must roster with Zach LaVine out. With Zach LaVine back, sure. I would wait for one game to see what happens and then drop him. In the playoffs, there's no time to. But he's giving us production now. He's giving us production right now. Another great game from him, and it had 2 steals. Like, in the last month, he's been bad. I mean, 129th ranked player, but we gotta look at the last 2 weeks because Zach LaVine, was in there at the beginning of the 2 weeks, right? Still 105th ranked player in the last 2 weeks. The ranking with him is pretty bad because if you look at it, 15 points, that's good. 4.6 assists, that could be better. I think 0.9 steals is really good and 0.3 blocks. But the problem with Kobe is that he doesn't. The efficiency is bad, and he's turning the ball over he's turning the ball at 2.3 per game. So guys like this, the counting stat look pretty good, but the rankings is gonna be not as good versus the guys that don't turn the ball over at all. Like a big guy gets some defensive stats. But I think at the moment, I think he's a must roster. Get Zach LaVine out definitely helped him. So if you hate Kobe White, but it doesn't matter, you gotta pick him up, I think. And the Bulls got a pretty good schedule, I believe, in the next week. Especially if you need some points, and yeah, they got 4 games. If you need some points, threes, and assists, those combinations, Kobe White is great. He might be averaging, who knows, 20, 23, 24 points next week. This game be really good. 31 points, 3 threes, 2 steals. Maybe he does this every season. Just end of season, he starts going off. That's who he is. Maybe Vucevic, great, 26 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. There's no point talking about this guy because he's just been a rock all season. Played all season, got to a different team, still producing. But the thing is, they lost. So this after the loss, they are 1.5 games behind Wizards, and the Wizards they're on a 7-game winning streak. It's not looking good. But obviously, there's still room. We still got how many games? Like 12, 13 games left. So they could still make it up for sure. Uh, yeah, after those two guys, I think nobody's a must roster at the moment. Lauren Markkinen and Thaddeus Young splitting the minutes, and Daniel Theis. They're splitting all the power forward and a little bit small forward minutes. And Patrick Williams, they are playing like 20 minutes. And Thaddeus Young is the best option out there, but like if they have a back-to-back next week, it's time to stream Thaddeus Young if you need some rebound, assist, steals, and efficiency. Right before that, I don't think you want to stream him. Satoransky is a job, yes. Kobe White has been taking over. For the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, oh my God, another great game from Jimmy Butler. We talked about him in the last 2 months. He's the number 1 ranked guy. He's still the number 1 ranked guy after this game for sure. In the last month, where's his ranking? Yeah, because Curry and Paul George both of them have been going off in the last month, so he's the 3rd ranked player. But man, that is scary. Especially the steal numbers. 4 steals here, 8 assists. If he pounding threes, he's basically a god. 6 turnovers is bad, but everything else looks so good. Trevor Ariza, if you need threes and some defensive stats, he's like a Danny Green. A worse version of Danny Green. But if the Heat schedule looks good, if you need those 3 categories, sure. Bam! 6 for 7 from the free throw line again. 10 assists, really good. 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 20 points. Another great game from Bam. Duncan Robinson hit 7 threes. So if you were streaming 3, congrats, you hit it. He hit 7 threes that day. 22 points, and Kendrick Nunn. I think he's also worth streaming. A lot of the Heat guys are out. I mean, this game, Goran Dragic was out. And if Kendrick Nunn gets 35 minutes, he will have a little bit value, especially the points and threes. And sometimes he can give you some defensive set, but those are extras. Normally he doesn't give you those. Let's look at the next game. The Lakers losing to the Dallas Mavericks. And AD is coming back and playing. The Lakers are 5th seed. Yeah, if LeBron doesn't come back next week, which some of the reports say they might be the 6th or 7th seed, having to play Clippers in the first round. That's not good. Although obviously you're the best, you got to go through everybody. But if you can play a worse team in the first round, why play Clippers? Right. But it looks like they're not gonna be top 4 because they have such a gap between the Nuggets and the Lakers. So they're gonna be Nuggets. I don't think it's easy for them either. Although Jamal Murray is out for season, but they still got the Joker. The Lakers, AD just struggling massively. 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Yeah, AD this season has been struggling from the free throw line, but 7 for 8 is good, but no defensive stats. He's just playing his way into the game shape. 70 points, yeah, he's obviously hold if you got him on your team. Kyle Kuzma, with AD back, he still got 30 minutes. So the lineup, I don't know. I think Andre Drummond may not be I think Marc Gasol is way better fit. Because you're not going to have much spacing with Andre Drummond around. And then if you start LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond. And Lakers, they don't exactly have the best shooting backcourt. And Andre Drummond is not exactly the best defender out there. So I think playing Andre Drummond high minutes, it might be a trap. It might hurt the Lakers in the playoffs. Frank Vogel probably knows this, and in the playoffs may not give Andre Drummond this high minutes. They just need some fresh bodies at the moment. In the playoffs, I think Drummond might get exposed. Although like Marcus also could get exposed, they may just go small with AD at the center. I think that's probably their best lineup in the playoffs. But McMorran, they picked him up and he played 30 minutes. He could be another 3-point streamer. KCP was out this game. Yeah, the guy hits a lot of threes, man. Ben McMorran, because this is all he does. The other shooter with AD back, it was a minus 27. Wow, interesting. Ben McMorran was 0, plus minus 0. That means in his 29 minutes, Lakers were even until Dennis Schroeder messed things up. I guess AD, Andre Drummond, all those guys. Dennis Schroeder also with LeBron out, you could definitely stream him if you need points, combination of points and assists mainly. For the Dallas Mavericks, this is why guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, every once in a while he's gonna have a good game like this. Had 4 threes, good efficiency, and 21 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. also started this game. Who's out? Yeah, Porzingis is out, so they start Tim Hardaway Jr. Interestingly, did not shoot the ball well. But a guy that JD Redick even played 20 minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, Tim Hardaway Jr. Those 3 guys, and Jalen Brunson also. Those guys are worth streaming for sure if they got a back-to-back. Depending on what categories you need. Don't stream Tim Hardaway Jr. if you need some rebounds, right? He give you 3 10 points only. Luka, okay game, 18 points, no defensive stat, 13 assists and 8 rebounds. Luka has been pretty underwhelming in fantasy this season. I don't know if you ever, next season, unless he can hit his free throws and gets those defensive stats, it will be tough to draft him in the first round, I believe. Because I think they're just better guys in the first round per game basis for sure, But the Conley side look good. If you can stack Luka and Russell Westbrook next season, I think it will be a good team build. But yeah, this game did not play the best. And Porzingis should be back next game, I believe. Well, actually, he hurt his ankle. I think I take that back. If you got an IR, is he day to day or is he? He might be out for like a week. And if you try to win, yeah, he's questionable. How is he questionable? So if he's questionable, I guess it's a hold. But I thought ankle injuries are gonna keep him out at least a week or 2, like a week and a half, and then that's when the fantasy season is over. Right. The next game is the Minnesota Timberwolves beating the Jazz. Actually, surprisingly, Donovan Mitchell is still out. Cat great. Only 3 assists this game, but 24 points, 12 rebound looks good. The efficiency from the free throw line is a bit rough. And look at Anthony Edwards. We're gonna ignore the 1 for 3 from the free throw line. 9 rebound, 5 steals. This is why this guy, get all the usage in the world, and he's a good. I don't know if he's a good defender in the real life, but he gets plenty of defensive stats. He got good length. He can block shots. He can get steals. In the last month, 50th ranked player, averaging 1.8 steals. Right. Really, really good. 23 points. If you got this guy, and if you pounding field goals, like if you got a guard team, right, he's been so good, for sure. If you don't care about the field goal and turnovers, the amount of points he give you, he hits threes, he gets steals. He doesn't give you a lot of assists, but he give you respectable assists, like 3-4 a game. So he's been really, really good. Ricky Rubio 20 minutes here. Ricky Rubio is a drop. D'Lo is playing 30 minutes now, and eventually he's gonna start. D'Lo, I think you gotta pick him up. The minutes finally took a while. Give you really good points and threes and some steals. You gotta have him on your team. He have top 50 potential. Is he gonna get there? We don't know. And guards like this, if category leagues, it's just hard for them to have a high ranking. So when you look at the rankings, you probably gotta, you got D'Lo. He hurts you in a lot of categories. He also helps you. So it's kind of like for a lot of big men, right? For starters, they're just not gonna hurt you in turnovers, right? They help you a lot. For the Jazz, with Donovan Mitchell out, I think I talked about this many times. Bogdanovich, Joe Ingles, and Jordan Clarkson, those guys need to be rostered. And the Jazz, their schedule is not too bad, I think. Whereas Jazz, next week they got 4 games. Yeah, for sure. Gotta keep all those guys. Yeah, they got 8 games next 2 weeks. Bogdanovich is great, and Mike Conley might be in and out the lineup. And if Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell are not there, Bogdanovich, Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles, they're gonna put up some good stats. Bogdanovich went off 7 threes, 30 points. Yes, in the last week he probably give you really good production. Did he? I think he also played pretty well. The other, okay, in the last month he's 135th ranked player. But yeah, he needs to be rostered. Royce O'Neal, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, okay, 2 threes. They have a back-to-back, you could stream him. Rudy Gobert, 17 rebound and a block. Just Rudy Gobert numbers. Joe Ingles did not have the best game, but 7 assists. like I said, I still like him. With Donovan Mitchell out, Mike Conley, 4 steals, 7 assists. I haven't talked about him in a while because after the hammy issues, he hasn't in the last month 42nd ranked player, averaging 1.7 point. Wow, the assist has been really high for Mike Conley. 7.5 assists and 1.4 steals, 2.6 threes. Those are the categories. Really, he's hurting you in field goal, and he doesn't really get that many rebound and blocks. But everything else is pretty good. Jordan Clarkson 15 points and give you a bit of everything. Mainly, he hits a lot of threes. That's also something. Don't forget, he hits about 3 threes a game, 5 a rebound, 5 assists, and a steal and block. With Donovan Mitchell out, he also need to be rostered for sure. Let's look at the last game of the night. Yeah, last game of the night. The Rockets losing to Denver Nuggets. There's no surprise, but hey, Kelly Olynyk could potentially help you win the league. Seriously, Christian Wood is going to be out for a long time. He's just a top 20 guy for the rest of the season. I think even with Christian Wood around, he's playing 30 plus minutes, and this is what he can do. 21 points. He was minus 30. It was bad in real life. 11 for 11 from the free throw line. I did not see that coming. No defensive stats. 11 assists, 2 threes, 21 points. Great. In the last month, where's Kelly? 26 ranked player. Must add. If he's out there on the waiver wire, do it. And I think we gotta look at both Kenyon Martin Jr. and TJ Wilson. I don't know what's going on. Jae'Sean Tate was getting 30 plus minutes, and one of the main guys gets hurt. Now he comes off the bench. But I would still hold for him if I need some defensive stats and some field goal. He got 4 steals here in just 21 minutes. So that's still great. But Kenyon Martin Jr. and TJ Wilson, we need to take a look at them. The Rockets got 4 games next week. Both guys realistically could give you, who knows, top 20, top 30 values because they get a lot of defensive stats. Right? Guys like this and good rebound. Kenyon Martin, we know he can block shots, and he gave us 3 steals here. Really, really bad from the free throw line. So that's one thing you need to be careful. 3 for 8. If you stream him, the counties that look good, but if he lose your free throw, maybe just lose you the playoff. But I think if you need defensive stats, sure, just be careful with the free throw. DJ Wilson went off. He was a -2. I think the fact that he played so well this game, obviously everybody's out, Chalmers was out, but the fact that he played really well, he earned himself a bit more minutes, I think. So I would for sure stream him next game, see what the minutes looks like. Christian Wood won't be back for, who knows if he's ever gonna be back. So Christian Wood is a guy. If you don't have an IR, I think Christian Wood is a drop. I don't expect him to come back in just 2-3 games, and you're just gonna lose next week if you don't have that roster spot. And he comes back, who knows? He just give you top 60 value for 1 week. Is that really worth it? But yeah, something to think about. DJ Wilson for sure. I would stream him next game. That's what we get out of it. And Daniel House did not play. Man, yeah, you gotta play DJ Wilson and Kenyon Martin Jr. Gotta stream those both guys next week. And Kelly Olynyk, he's the number 1 guy right now. Gotta grab him. For the Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. is, ever since he started getting minutes, he's been good. In the last month after this game, he had 14th ranked player. Yeah, averaging 23 points. And he's only averaging 0.4 steals. I would expect him to give us at least 0.8 steals. The steals could be tricky. If he gets 3 steals, like he would move his steal. It's just very volatile, to say the least. But he's probably the best guy in the NBA, the only guy in the NBA shooting over 50% and making over 2.5 threes. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns. This is the other guy that I can think of, but nobody else can do this. Good efficiency everywhere. Don't turn the ball over. Next season, remember, if you can get this guy in the top 50, don't let him slip over top. And remember to pound assist as well, right? If you're pounding assists in the first round, for example, I'm talking about in category leagues, who doesn't get assists? If you got Anthony Davis, right, and then you pair him up with Porter Jr., that could be good. But if you got like Harden first round, you got a lot of assists, you want to keep that going, maybe don't get Michael Porter Jr. But Michael Porter Jr. has been great, 14th ranked player. This is the potential with him. Last 2 months, let's look at that. Ever since he started getting more minutes, right? Yeah, 17th ranked player, just being such a beast. Can't say about him. We always know this guy could be top 30, but top 15, top 20 coming at us real soon. Jokic, great, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Can't say enough about Jokic. What he has done for your team all season. Did not miss a single game, just consistent production every single game. And PJ Dozier, I think it's also time to. Will Barton is going to be out, and they don't really have anybody to play. I mean, they even play Austin Rivers 29 minutes. So next week, guys got to stream PJ Dozier, 23 points, two steals and 2 blocks. I still don't know what PJ Dozier can really do, but this game he had good defensive stats and good efficiency. I think in a limited time I watched him in the playoffs last year, I think he likes to get into the paint a lot. He drives a lot, so maybe his field goal potential will be good. But it depends on how many defensive stats he can get. Obviously, this game is great. Aaron Gordon is not a master roster guy. His minutes is up and down. Even when he played 30 minutes, he doesn't take that many shots. He doesn't get that many offensive, assist or defensive stats. So there's no point holding on to him. Campazzo, yes. I was just saying, gotta be patient with this guy with his assists and steals, because he was getting he got like 4 assists and 1 steal. This game, 13 assists, 3 steals. I think he's still a streamer. I'm meaning TJ McConnell. If you need those 2 categories going into next week, if your opponent, if you tie with those, yes, you gotta stream this guy. Austin Rivers got 30 minutes, but not interested in him. That's it for all the games. I'll see you guys later.